back to chapter 6 and 7 of Unbroken. Stay with the video because I'll do chapter 7 after this chapter here. So let's take a look. The title of this chapter is The Flying Coffin. It's about Louis and him meeting his crew, especially the pilot Russell Phillips. The setting is the Japanese War in the Pacific and Louis' training. It's about Louis joining the rest of his crew in the aircraft. A little bit of foreshadowing that we haven't touched on yet, but it mentions the Wake Island Marines, who were the first POWs of the war, Louis' survival training, and Louis' mom's journal that she started. This happened between 41 and 42, and you see the list of places that he went during his training. So this is actually a pretty easy chapter to do. We have the different locations here. We have Midland Airfield, where he did some of his training, and I found a really cool picture of Louis on the internet, so I wanted to bring that in. That's him there on top of the rudders. Really cool video, so I wanted to display that. And then he went to Sioux City for more training. And it's just a simple place mark. And then Ephrata, Washington. Once again, a simple place mark. And I've decided to use this aircraft for any airfields that Louis been to. And so on and so forth. He finally ended at Hickam Airfield in Hawaii here. But I definitely wanted to show these two videos of Louis, since the main theme of this chapter was Louis and his crew. Here's Louis with the aircraft they named Superman, and Louis with the rest of the guys. I thought these were really important pictures to tell Louis' story, so I wanted to show those. So what I want to do here is organize this folder over here. I want to put the places in order. So first, he was at Midland, so I'm going to move that up. And then he went to Sioux City, so put that just beneath. And then Ephrata. And then Hamilton Field, California. And then Hickam and these two image overlays. I'm going to organize a little bit more. I'm going to right-click, add a folder. I'm going to call this Hickam. And everything related to Hickam, I'm going to put in there, the place mark and the two image overlays. And now I can tell the story in order. What else I'm going to do is go to Properties of the Chapter folder and go to Radio Buttons. Now what I can do is very quickly, Midland Airfield, and it goes there. Sioux City, there, and I don't have to mess with turning folders on and off. I put the folders or the entities in order chronologically, and then there were a couple things I wanted to group together, so I added a folder and then put all that into Radio Buttons so I can quickly and efficiently tell the story, which ends the chapter here, which I really like. Louis at Hickam Airfield with his crew in the aircraft. So there you have it, a little bit of organization, ordering things, adding a folder and Radio Buttons, put them all together, and you can quickly tell a story. Stay right there, we'll do chapter 7. Okay guys, chapter 7. This is it, boys. Mostly this chapter was about Louis and Captain Phillips, once again the Japanese War. A lot of the chapter was about Louis' training and doing sea search, but finally towards the end we got to Louis' first taste of combat and the bombing of Wake Island. Some foreshadowing was in his training he learned about how quickly bullets decelerate in water. That'll be useful later. This happened around Christmas time 1942, and it took place Hickam Field, Midway Island, and Wake Island. Let's take a look. Some of the things that we know how to do. We know how to do place marks and paths already. And you can see we go from Hawaii to Midway to Wake Island. That distance is approximately 2,360 miles. one way that stretched the limits of the fuel tanks. But what I really want to show was the bombing of Wake Island, because that was what the main thing was about. So what I've done is some screen overlays. I've got a top left, top right, and a bottom left. Here's what the flight might have looked like in formation. Here's what the bombing would look like. And here are some pictures of Wake Atoll from sea level. I'm going to do one more here at the bottom right. So what I've done is I got my screen overlay codes. Here's my bottom right code. And what I've done is I've put the location to the picture that I want to show, and then the name of the picture right here. You may want to push pause if you like this code to take a look at it. Let's go take a look. And the picture I'm going to show is this one, right after the bombing with things still smoking. All right, so now that I've got my code correct, I'm going to copy all of this, come to Google Earth, paste it in the folder I want it in, and here we go. Here it is as a screen overlay. You can see no matter where I go, these 4 pictures are stuck in that portion of the screen. But I'm going to show one more picture, and that's going to be a map of Wake Atoll with some annotations on it on where they bomb things. That picture looks like this. The map of the island, and you can see some locations being pointed out that were key to the bombing, some of their targets. In this case, I'm not going to do a screen overlay. I'm going to do an image overlay. So once again, right click, add, this time an image overlay. You see those green lines? I browse to the picture, which is in my Unbroken folder. Scroll down, there's the map I want. Now there it is, but it's not the size or orientation that I want. So I'm here in Properties. I'm going to change the transparency right here so I can see through it. And I'm going to move it like I've shown in the past. All right, let's move it this way. Let's shrink it down. Zoom in. Shrink it down some more. So it's about the same size. Now move it right on top. Tilt it just a bit more so it mirrors that image. When I'm happy with it, bring the transparency all the way back to opaque. Click OK. Now when I show this, I got my image upright so my audience can read it. I've put them all in the same folder. So what I'm going to do is right click, snapshot view that folder. So when I want to go to that location, when I turn on this folder, the attack images, it'll turn on all 4 screen overlays, 1 image overlay, and now when I double click, it'll automatically zoom to it, and I can visualize to my audience what exactly happened as best as I can within Google Earth. At the end, make sure you file, save my places as always, and thanks for watching Map Your World.